What's going on, guys? I just wanted to apologize real quick in advance about the audio fluctuating in the video. It is my first time using this mic, so I did have to do a little getting used to, but let's get into the video. What is going on, guys? It's your boy Speedy Dominican back at it again with another video. I hope you guys are having a great day today. Today's video is going to be a little different. Today, I'm going to be discussing my car. I'm going to basically be doing a mod list rundown. So tell you guys all the parts I have on the car, explain them a little bit. I have a few parts on the car that I've had a lot of people in the forums ask me about, ask me how I like it, if it's worth it. So I can't wait to explain it to you guys and tell you how I feel about them and if I feel like it's worth it or not. Um, for those of you who don't know, obviously I have a 2017 Honda Civic Si Coupe, chassis code FC3. I've had it for about a little over 4 years now, close to 5. It's been a great car. I've dailied it pretty much since the day I bought it. I just kind of stopped dailying it, I want to say a month ago, 2 months ago. So it's been great. It's been super reliable. It's been a great car. It currently has 122,000 miles on it. I just got some work done to the motor, timing chain, tensioner, valve. What's it called? The valve spring adjustment. Beep. The valve adjustment. I apologize for that. I got an upgraded turbo put on, but before I get into the turbo and all of that setup, I'm gonna start from the beginning. So first of all, and I'm gonna try to do a little cinematic view on all the parts for you guys to see it during the video. I apologize if I can't do it perfectly. Still learning how to edit to that extent, but I'm gonna try my very best. But first of all, I want to start off with the PRL coder intake. I do have the race math version for it. Obviously, for the race math, you do need a tune to run it. On top of the intake, I do have the 271 turbo inlet pipe. A lot of people have asked me, what's the point of running the inlet pipe on a stock turbo? It's not going to give you crazy power gains, but it definitely will allow the turbo to flow better. It'll allow more air to flow into the turbo, spool a little quicker, and overall, it just breathes better. So I do recommend it, obviously. I've had no issues. Also, intake and the turbo inlet, it does increase turbo noises. I will say that right now. It does increase turbo noises. If for me, my exhaust is pretty loud, so it kind of drowns it out. I can hear it, but my passengers can't really hear it because they just hear exhaust. But if you have like a normal exhaust, muffler, resonator delete, or your catless with an actual exhaust with some type of muffler or resonator, you should be able to hear it just fine. People outside the car can hear it all the time. I get thumbs up on it all the time. Moving on from that, I have the PRO intercooler with charge pipes. On top of the intercooler with the charge pipes, I have a PRL coolant hose upgrade kit. I've been running that for about 3 years now as well. I have a K-Tuner flex fuel kit sensor hooked up in the car. Right now, I'm currently running MSD racing coil packs. The reason I went with MSD is so my stock coil pack started giving out at about 117,000 miles. It started misfiring. Changed the spark plugs, kept misfiring. So I swapped the coils. I noticed that the misfire was moving with the coils. So obviously coil packs were bad. So I went with MSD. Mainly, I'm not gonna lie, I did it because they were red, but I also did it because from what I've heard, they're a little better than the factory coil packs. Now, I've also heard people tell me that no, it's the same thing. Uh, Personally, I just like the way it looks. I prefer to run MSD over stock ones. That's just my personal opinion. So I got the MSD coil packs. All right, guys. So in this part of the video, I completely forgot to tell you guys that while I was out of the country a few months ago, I did have the car worked on. I did mention the timing chain and the tensioner, but I also got a new head gasket put in. It is an OEM head gasket from Honda, but I am running ARP head studs on the car. So I did want to let you guys know about that as well. Down to the turbo, I have the 271 W1 turbo I just got installed about 3 months ago. I've been running it. I've put about 1,000 miles on it, give or take already, and I absolutely love it. It definitely is a big difference for me. So I'm running a K tuner, and I was running a TSP Stage 2 tune on the car. Excuse me, for about 4 years. When I was running the TSP Stage 2 on the stock turbo, it has a lot of torque on the low end, which was very different from the W1. The W1, since it's an upgraded turbo with a bigger wheel on the inside, basically you lose some of that low end power to gain in the top end, and it feels phenomenal. You know, usually when you're on it with a stock turbo, 100 miles an hour, it falls on its face. It's done. This one just keeps scooting. I absolutely love it. But like I said, it is a big change. You do have to get used to it because you don't have that instant torque anymore in the low end. You kind of have to build up to it. But I'm absolutely loving it. I cannot complain so far. No complaints. Moving on, I have the PRL 3-inch catless front and downpipe combo. I've been running that also for about 4 years, 3 years. Absolutely love it. No complaints. Respectfully, I feel like they have the best parts available for this car. This is also my personal opinion. I've been running pretty much all their parts since I bought the car. I went with the 271 turbo inlet instead of the PRO simply because the 271 is bigger. It allows more air to flow through it. But PRL has, in my opinion, they have more research and development behind their product. So they basically have this part right here. I'm not sure if you guys can see it. I'll show you guys later. This part right here is basically made out of titanium. And not only is it made out of titanium, but it's removable. So if you want to do any type of turbo work, you don't have to take off the entire turbo inlet pipe. All you have to do is just take out that little titanium piece and you have access to the turbo. Um, I am currently running a Skunk 2 intake manifold, and this is where everybody starts asking me questions. This is what everybody wants to know. Is it worth it? How do I install it? This is the number one question I get asked. 100 people ask me this on the forums, minimum. And honestly, I absolutely love the intake manifold. From what I've seen when I bought it, there were only 2 people in the country running it. Now I just installed it about 5 months ago. I want to say I think I've seen 5 or 6 people running it that I've seen. I don't know, there might be more that I know of. I believe I'm the only person in the state of Georgia running it. Haven't seen anybody else running it. FK, SI, no, neither of them. I absolutely do love it. I feel like it does allow the motor to breathe a lot better, which is very good. Like we discussed, more air, better performance. Um, I haven't gotten a tune to really get the full extent of the part, but it's definitely worth it in my opinion. Like I said, if I feel like if the motor is breathing better, you're gonna get more performance out of it, and it struggles less. So that's just my personal opinion. A lot of people are gonna tell you don't buy it, it's not worth it, stock turbo, this, that. Don't listen to them. At the end of the day, it's your build. Get whatever it is that you want to get. But in my personal opinion, I recommend getting it because it's just an awesome part to have. It also it changes the exhaust tone a little bit because it's getting in that extra air. Um, Nobody come start attacking me. It doesn't. Don't do that because it does just a little bit. All right, one last thing I forgot to mention in the video as well is everybody was asking me what I needed to install the Skunk 2 intake manifold, how I installed it, what it took to install, was it hard to install? Honestly, it wasn't too hard of an install as you would think it was. It's pretty straightforward. You have 3 bolts on the bottom of the stock intake manifold, 2 on the top. You take all your vacuum hoses out, remove the old intake manifold. You have a new spacer, you install the new one. Now, the hardest part for the Skunk 2 intake manifold install was the fact that you do need to go to the store and actually buy longer vacuum hose because the factory vacuum hose that reach on the stock intake manifold will not reach on the Skunk 2 intake manifold. So you will need to go to the part store probably several times to get the proper vacuum hose. My friend Joey and I, it took us quite a few. It took us a little bit because we had to figure it out. But you do all that's pretty much all you need. They send you all the hardware you need except the hoses. They don't really send you instructions. So what you do is you just kind of trace out all the hoses to the stock intake manifold onto the new intake manifold, and you just have to buy that longer vacuum hose in order to install the Skunk 2 intake manifold. But honestly, in my opinion, I do love it. Like I said, I think it's a phenomenal product. I obviously haven't seen any massive power gains or pretty much any power gains from it yet, but I know further down the line, soon, hopefully, I will be getting the power gains from that part. I do recommend it to everybody. I do tell everybody to invest in it just because, like I mentioned, it helps the motor breathe better, more air, better performance. So like I said, that's pretty much all you need to do for the intake for the Skunk 2 intake manifold. If you guys really truly want to see how to install it, leave a comment down below, let me know, and I will try my best to try to take it off and reinstall it for you guys to show you how to do it. So let's get back to the video. Next up, I have a tiny anti-gravity battery. Um, Purpose of the battery, it's super lightweight, and not only is it super lightweight, this battery can last, if I'm not mistaken, it can last 6 years, I think it is. So it is pricey, but it is super lightweight, doesn't weigh much. I believe the weight on this current battery I have is like 6 pounds, 6 to 8 pounds, versus a traditional battery is like 25 pounds, 20 pounds for a battery. So a little weight savings there. Great battery. It has a auto jump off feature. So basically, what that means is what I like about it is after about a week and a half of not using the car, the battery will kill itself, and it has a little jump start button on the top of it. You click that button and it'll jump it off immediately. You can start the car back up like nothing ever happened. I absolutely love that. Moving on, I have a 2020 SI transmission in the car. I had got this transmission from a friend of mine. He unfortunately his SI got totaled, so uh, he sold me his 2020 SI transmission. The reason I went with a 2020 transmission is because they have a shorter final drive, which gives you slightly quicker acceleration. So I personally like it over the traditional 17 to 19 SI transmission. I feel like it does. The acceleration is there, you can feel it, and that shorter final drive is definitely a slight more advantage than the other transmissions. Moving on from that, I have a E-Man retrofit Type R clutch in the car. Um, Best clutch on the market, if you ask me. It is the best thing you can get to the closest stock feeling possible. So it's a completely stock OEM FK Type R clutch, just modified to fit the 1.5s. And honestly, the stock FK clutch can handle up to 500 wheel horsepower. So 500 wheel horsepower, stock feeling, 2 plus 2 equals 4. Might as well go for it. So it's I absolutely love it. Definitely recommend. I know that RV6 just recently released their version of it. I haven't ran it. I don't know anybody who has ran it yet, but I definitely do want to meet somebody who has. That'll probably be my next one, is to try out the RV6 one. If I don't like it, then I'll go back to E-Man for his retrofit. But moving on from that, let's see. What else do I have? I have full solid mounts on the vehicle. I have Passport full solid mounts on the top, the motor and the transmission mount. And then on the rear motor mount, I have a 271 solid rear motor mount. Um, if you are running a tune and you do experience a lot of wheel hop, I definitely recommend getting that rear motor mount for starters. Passport makes a rear motor mount, so does 271. Uh, I believe when I went to buy mine, Passport hadn't made theirs yet. I believe. Don't quote me on it. I can't remember. But I've been running 271s for the longest. It's taken a beating. I've bottomed the car out on it. It's still working. It's not cracked. It's just it's banged up a little bit, but it still does what it needs to do. It definitely eliminates a lot of the wheel hop you experience in these cars because they are front wheel drive. Um, Moving on from the motor mount, I have a Moto oil cooler on the car. Um, Definitely love the oil cooler. The good thing about that is for me, I abuse my car very often, like on a daily basis. And so it's always good to have that oil cooler to keep the oil temps down. No, I'm not throwing shots at VQ owners, but oil, bad oil. No, no, no. You want cool oil, not hot oil. I'll show you guys later. Pen. VQ owners. Anyways, definitely love the Moto oil cooler. It's definitely a great addition to have. Like I said, it helps keep the car cool. At the moment, I'm not running an upgraded radiator. I do want to go with a coil rad radiator just to keep the engine coolant temp a little lower. Like I said, I do abuse this car on a daily, and Georgia is very bipolar. For those of you who don't live in the state, it's a very bipolar state. One day it'll be 90 degrees, dry heat. Next day it'll be 103, humid. The next day it'll be 55 degrees, cold. And so, yeah, definitely recommend it. Headlights. These are not the original headlights. These are the Morimoto XB headlights. I actually got them from a friend who was parting out his car about a year ago, actually. I got them about a year ago. I traded him my stock plus cash for them. Absolutely love them. Favorite headlights on the market. Out of all the headlights they have that are not custom, that you custom order, these are absolutely my favorites. I love them. I love them. I love the jewel style. They are sequential. I don't know if it'll show up in the camera, but I will try to show you. They are sequential. Super bright at night. Bright high beams, bright low beams. They don't bother other drivers because they aren't angled kind of down. So I definitely recommend those. Absolutely love them. Now here on the garnish piece, I do have these LEDs right here on the garnish. I got those from Primitive Performance. I also got a lot of questions on those. I got them from Primitive Performance. Um, I don't remember exactly how much I paid for them, but I absolutely love them. They are running lights as well. So at night, I wired them into my headlights. So when my DRL is on my headlight, my DRL is on for the garnish piece. Same goes with my headlights. When my headlights are on, the garnish piece will turn on. I also have my Angel Eye fog lights. That was literally the first thing I ever bought for this car for eBay almost 5 years ago. It was $30. I will never forget that. $30 little Angel Eye fog lights off of eBay. They're still running strong, still super bright. Absolutely love them. I've been thinking about changing them, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Um, let's see what else. Carbon fiber hood. I have a Cybon carbon fiber hood. Let's see. What else do I have up front? I know I'm forgetting some stuff. I definitely know that for a fact. Let's see. Bless you. Okay, I'm sorry. My cameraman is telling me to look at the camera. I apologize. So, all right. So I'm trying to figure out what it is that I want to do next. I'm trying to figure out what it is I have next to tell you guys about from the front side. I guess I could tell you guys about the carbon badges. I do have carbon badges from Aerospec Racing. Got those from a friend got his SI totaled as well. Bought those off of him. I believe that's it on the front side. Let's see, intercooler, oil cooler, intake, turbo inlet, turbo mounts, ignition coils, intake manifold, front pipe, dump pipe. Oh, I am running an E-Man modified clutch master cylinder as well. Another thing for SI owners and FK8 owners, on the slave cylinder, I highly recommend doing a clutch delay valve delete. The delay valve is basically a little valve this big that Honda installed in the slave cylinder to help you shift, but it's a delay valve for a reason. It kind of disables you from quick shifting. It'll cause lockouts, it'll cause you to miss shift. So you pull the slave cylinder off, and after you pull the slave cylinder off, I can actually do a video for you guys and show you guys in another point in time. But you delete the but you delete the delay valve. Delete the delay valve, and it'll actually help you guys shift a lot better, a lot quicker, a lot smoother. Moving on to the side of the car, I do have side markers from Primitive Performance as well. So wheel wise, I am running Advan RS3 wheels. If I'm not mistaken, they are 18x9. I don't know the offset. I got them from a friend. He got rid of his SI. He traded it in for a pickup truck. He just had them sitting there. Got a good deal on them. Picked them up. He didn't exactly remember the specs, but since he had it on his SI, I knew it was going to fit. I knew it was a good fit. I knew it cleared big brakes, which also, if you guys have noticed, I am running a set of Brembos on here. These calipers are from an older Acura RL. They do come with the Brembos. Rotors, I am running 350Z rotors, believe it or not. So it's 350Z rotors, RL pads, and in order to mount the caliper, you do need a special bracket. You do need a special bracket in order to mount them up to the car. They're not just going to mount up perfectly. So I can try to link that bracket in the description if I can find it. If I can't, I apologize. But the Advents are wrapped around Indy 500s, except this one right here. I had a flat and the tire blew out. So it's on a different one. But all the other ones are on Firehawk Indy 500s. I absolutely love these tires. They're a great performance tire for a good price. You're not paying Michelin price, but you're not paying base model car tire prices either. I feel like it's a good mixture. It's right in between. No, it's right in between. It's a great tire. Like I said, they are summer tires. So in the summer, when you start your car and you start driving, as soon as the tires are warm, they grip instantly. I'm talking they really grip very well. I've had friends run them on 700 horsepower Mustangs. Like I said, as soon as they warm up, they grip instantly. So they are definitely great tires to run. Um, Random last set of tires, random these tires. I'm probably gonna need new ones, so I'm gonna get some more. So Firehawk, Firestone, if you're seeing this, please sponsor me. I love your product. I definitely need new tires, and yeah. They're currently on 255, 35, 18 tires. Yes, you can clear 255, 35, 18s. Suspension wise, I am on BC coilovers, extreme lows. It's not all the way low. I believe I can go another 2.5 inches lower than what the car sits already, which is already pretty low. I do bottom out sometimes. I do scrape a lot, but it's still functional. I can get around my day just fine. I can drive and do whatever it is I need to do. Speed bumps, I kind of got to go over sideways a little bit, but sometimes depending on how big they are. But I'm not complaining whatsoever. Like I said, I absolutely love it. I love the coilovers. They are very good. They're not a bumpy ride. It is pretty smooth on the highway and rolling. So I can't complain about the suspension. So one other thing I want to let you guys know is about the injectors. I do want to talk about that issue with these cars. They do have a tendency of failing. They'll start leaking after X amount of miles. Or if you run a E85 or an E85 blend, it definitely helps advance that leaking process. I've had to change my injector. I cleaned my first set of injectors thinking that they were just dirty or clogged. They weren't. Got them cleaned, still misfiring. I got them stupid. I got a second set of injectors, brand new from Honda. I installed them. The car ran great. Fuel trims were down. I want to say my long-term fuel trim, we're sitting at about a constant -3, -4, which is honestly, it's pretty much as good as you're gonna get. You're not gonna get a even zero. So with that being said, if you're not going to get the zero, you want it as close to zero as possible. So -3, -4 is fine on these cars. If you do have a K tuner or a Honda and you see that your long term fuel trim LTFT is high in the negatives, that means your car is running rich. Negatives is it's running rich. Positive means that it's running lean. I I love planes. I actually do, but anyways. So it does have a common problem for the injectors failing. I've seen it in a lot of cars. I've seen the cars that have never ran a drop of E85 in them. I've seen them in a bunch of cars that have ran E85 in them, being me specifically. I actually need to replace them again because my fuel trims are starting to get high in the negatives. So I do feel like they're leaking. But I'm going to explain about my injectors in the next video, in another video I have coming up. The next video I'm coming up will probably be what I have plans for the car and a new special part I have for the car at my house. I definitely recommend you guys watch it. It'll definitely be something phenomenal. Yeah, very rare. I want to give a huge, massive shout out to PRL. I am currently sponsored through PRL. I just got sponsored about 2 months ago. I've been trying to make this video for a minute and just things kept coming up. I haven't been able to, but I do, now that I have the time, I want to send a massive shout out to PRL for sponsoring me. It's going to help me out so much with the next step in the process of the build, which I said once again, it'll be coming in the next video. So I really hope you guys watch it. In the meantime, like I said, PRL, thank you guys so much. I hope to catch up with you guys sometime soon. Come check the shop out in person, hang out with you guys. But thank you guys for sponsoring me in my vehicle and my build. I appreciate it so much. Yeah. But anyways, like I said, if you guys have any more questions, let me know. Leave it down in the comment below. Hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys want to see. What you guys want to see in the next video. What you guys want me to talk about. Hit that thumbs up. Please hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. If you didn't, still, please hit that thumbs up for me just because it's me. I got you guys. But like I said, that's pretty much all it is for my car. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys tuning in. English is hard today. I apologize. Hi, I'm thirsty. But anyways, guys, I will catch you guys in the next video. Shout out to my boy John for being the cameraman. I appreciate you. All right, guys. I'll catch you guys in the next one.